So in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, what kind of time commitment, right, is this going to be for me, right? To say, okay, right now I'm working this 9 to 5 job, or maybe I have just moved to a different job, a different position, but this is something that can supplement my income to actually bring in the funds, like you're saying. We need to start this thing I want to start, but what kind of time commitment, right? You always told us that I don't need that much money to start it off, right? $500 would be great, but what kind of time is it going to take for me to understand the research on these different products, to know exactly what I should be buying from these stores to be reselling? Like, what kind of, my first question, like, what's the time commitment involved, right? Because it seems like, man, like, am I gonna be at the store all day shopping? Because I prefer to go in the store, grab my shirt if it's there. This is my process. I'm gonna go. My wife give me a list. I get what's on the list. Okay. My wife, she gonna go in there. She gonna get all the stuff that's on the list and three times more of whatever is not on the list, right? So we got different processes, right? For me, if I go there for this product, it ain't there, I am go home. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now when I'm hearing this, I'm like, am I gonna be in the store for 3 hours all day? You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to figure out what the process looks like time-wise.
Gotcha. So we started out, that's retail arbitrage, and we did start out scanning shelves at Big Lots and Walmart and all of that. But that's not, I don't feel like that's a good starting point. Again, that was one of our mentors, how they started, and that's how they've continued their business. But that's not how we run our business at this point. So at this point, we do online arbitrage. We don't keep inventory. The only inventory that we see are the returns that are going back to who we bought them from, our wholesaler. That's the word.
Online arbitrage. Okay, that's completely different than I was thinking.
Yeah. So pardon me for that. We did start out scanning in person, but we do online arbitrage. So in online arbitrage, you can essentially do the same thing. You can scan everything in Walmart.com and try to find a profit from it. But what we suggest is for you to buy an OA list, which it's a list that's like $20 a month, and people have already vetted those products, how well they have sold, what the volume in which people are buying them in, and what's a good conservative amount for you to buy and get that back within 4 to 6 weeks. So that is the model that we have, which is like, you don't have any inventory. It's like a hybrid of retail arbitrage and drop shipping, because you don't keep any of that, but it's all US based. So they tell you where to buy the information, you send it into Amazon, and you're not shopping all day for that. They say, for this item right now, the split is 30%. This item right here is 20%. Buy 10 of these, your 500 is gone, and you wait. And the time is also going to depend on how much you want to invest. So if you start out with 500 the first month, you get it back and you're like, holy crap, this is easy. Next I'm going to put in a little more. That's completely going to depend on what you should do. But I'm going to say what we always suggest is that when people buy, they buy wide and not deep. Don't buy 100 of the same item and be like, oh, I know this is going to sell. You need to buy maybe 20 of 5 items, or 10 of 10 items, so you can see that kind of up and down, and you have a little more security in that. So
what if I sell the first 20 and they just pop off? Like, I don't go back and get 100, because
it's really hard. But I would say
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to y'all. Y'all know what y'all doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's really hard. It is, but it really depends on what the graph is saying. So if you just happen to hop on an item and it's really hot selling because it's Halloween, and then you end up getting it, it takes a while to get to the warehouse, and by the time it gets there, then people are not celebrating Halloween anymore, then you're stuck. So it's always important to read the graph and make sure you understand what is going on in the moment, what your customers are looking for, what the marketplace is asking for, before you're like, oh, that did good, let me put a couple wow in there. No.
Listen. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, we have lost money off of less success. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But so you got to be calm. It's like the stock market. I guess you got to like calm down.
Yeah. What they say when everyone is buying, because that's the other thing. Like when you're buying things, you have to realize that there's a buy box. So there's like 10 people competing to be on that first page that customers see when they open up that page. So the person that they see is more than likely the one they're going to buy from. You know, some people kind of do scan through different prices, but the person that is on that first page is actually going to get more of it. But if you go onto that list and you're like, okay, it's 20, I get 20% back. You know, I bought 100 of these. Let me see how many people are on the list. And you're like scanning, and you see that there's 100 people selling the same product. Do not do it. Don't do it.
Right.
You be on that listing for a whole year and then your inventory been expired. It's just so many variables.
Got you. But so I'm understanding. So there is the actual retail arbitrage where you're actually going in the stores. That's one particular model. You actually scan based on, you know, Amazon or say Walmart, if you're in a different store, I guess, right? And you're scanning it to see if there's any percentage profit in there that you can use. Correct. You buy those products, but you're keeping that physical inventory and you physically got to ship that out. That's my understanding.
In retail arbitrage, yes.
Okay, in that, okay, but then the one you're talking about, gotcha, is online. So OA is online arbitrage, I guess. Is that
correct? What that means? It's only stores online, and then you send it off, and you get the profit from it.
Wow. And so they hold it. So the people that put out the OA list, is that the one that actually holds the inventory, or is this like Amazon that's holding the inventory?
No, this is like a third party seller. So the OA list is just like a list of products, and it gives you like the margins and everything. And this is just something that a third party seller has done. They have VAs. You might not be able to afford a VA at that time. So they have people that manually source literally the internet for particular products, see that they're really low, and is like, hey, this distributor that no one knows about, that's not ranking on Google or anything, is selling this really well. So you can actually go in there and get those products and send it in. So we don't send it in straight to Amazon. We send it to what's called a prepper or a prep center. And they get all the products, they package it properly, and then send it to Amazon.
Okay.
So you're either packaging it with retail arbitrage, or someone else is packaging it for the prep center.
Got you. Okay. So I understand. So there's a couple layers then with the online. There's the OA company, it's a third party company that's sourcing just people all over, distributors all over, right? To find margins. They create a list, then you purchase from that company though, right? From that distributor. Okay, and you go send that to the prepper. The prepper sends it to Amazon, and then it's on they have it basically in stock on the site, and then they send it out. Gotcha. Okay.
And there's other ways to do it, because even if you have, even if you do online arbitrage, you could also get it shipped to your house, and you can prepare it properly. So look, you pay for it. You want to pay for it at the profits on the prep center, or you want to pay for it, or you want to pay yourself essentially.
That's a good point. New videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9:00. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.